بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Today we are going to talk about final sequences, which are more complex than the sequences we've dealt with before, and this is going to be our sixth lecture. Actually, when we talked about the syllable and the structure of the syllable in English, we said that maximally we can have up to 3 consonants under the onset position, up to 3 consonants only. And there is a condition. The first consonant should be the sound se. Otherwise, we cannot have 3 consonants. So we may have 2 consonants and we may have 3 consonants, provided that the first one is se sound. This is under the onset position, that is before the vowel. Moreover, we also said that the maximum of the syllable structure under the coda position, that is after the vowel, is up to 4 consonants, up to 4 under the coda. So in the syllable, actually in the English language syllable, we may have branching here, that is to have more than 1 element under the onset, and the maximum is 3. And we may have also branching here under the coda of the syllable, and the maximum is up to 4 consonants. And here is the maximum structure of the syllable, as in the word students or students. We should have the sound ye here, because we have 2 possible pronunciation of this word. We may have students without ye, and we may have students with ye. Actually, here we may have a vowel, and we may delete the vowel. If we delete the vowel, we are going to have 4 consonants under the coda position. And here actually we have already 3 consonants under the onset position. And this is called the maximum syllable, the maximum structure of the syllable. Look, here is the syllable. It is divided into onset and rhyme. The rhyme is then divided into peak, the nucleus, and the coda. The onset should be filled up with consonants. The rhyme, the peak, the nucleus should be a vowel, while the coda is usually occupied by consonants. Here we have up to 3 consonants, sa, ta, ya. Then we have the vowel. Then we have 4 consonants under the coda position, da, na, ta, sa. This is the maximum structure. And don't forget, we have a deleted vowel in the final cluster here. Otherwise, we will not have a cluster of 4 consonants. Okay, this is called the maximum structure of the syllable. So we have up to 3 under the onset, up to 4 under the coda position, and definitely we will have 1 vowel only. We cannot have more than 1 vowel. No branching under the vowel or the nucleus node. Now, this is this structure is applicable to the case of within word clusters. Within word. This is within a word. But can we have longer consonant clusters across word boundaries? That is, when more than 1 word is involved. This is a question which is very important. Can we have longer consonant clusters? Yes, we can. This is the answer. Now we come to the details. In phrases, maybe 1 word may end with a sequence of consonants, and the next word has another sequence of consonants. So we are talking about two words. The first one ends with a cluster and the second one starts with a cluster. This is called across word boundaries clusters. Across word boundaries, while the first type was within word boundaries. So within word clusters may have up to 3 under the onset, up to 4 under the coda. But here we may have more complicated clusters because more than one word is involved. Okay? Now, how do we pronounce such clusters? Actually, if we want to pronounce the more complex clusters, that is a cluster of 5 consonants, 6 consonants, maybe 7, we need to pass smoothly from the last or the final, the last consonant of the final cluster, and we pass to them smoothly actually to the first consonant of the initial cluster of the next word. Okay, so if we pass smoothly, we can have the cluster. If there is a pause, there is a gap, or there is a vowel, no, we will not have a cluster here. If you remember when we talked about clusters, normal clusters, the ones we've dealt with before, we always talk about a consonant that is being prepared, and another consonant is being pronounced. Being prepared and being pronounced. Now, the same thing applies to more complex clusters that are clusters of 5, 6, 7, and maybe more. Actually, as I said, we need to pass smoothly from the last consonant of the final cluster to the first consonant of the initial cluster with no vowel, no gap, no pause between them. Okay? As we did before, we need to put the organs of speech in position for the following consonant during the pronunciation, while the pronunciation of the first consonant is still produced. Okay, a friend is calling me now. Okay, let it be later. Of the previous consonant, look at some examples at page 77. We will go to 77. This is in your book. My computer is being slow these days. Anyway, so this is page 77. Look at these clusters. This is actually 3 consonant cluster. Best man, satama, 3. Fix this, kasada, also 3. The next group, 4 consonants. Next Sunday, ka, sa, ta, sa. Okay, 5 consonants. Melts free, l, ka, sa, fa, ra. 6 consonants. Next spring, kasata, sa, pa, ra. So here we have 6 consonants. Here we may have 7 consonants. The next stupid, ka, sa, ta, sa, sa, ta, ya. These are 7 consonants. Okay, don't forget, we need to move and pass smoothly from the last consonant of the first word, which is ta, for example here, to the next or the initial consonant in the cluster of the next word. We pass smoothly from ta to ma. While ta is still being produced, ma should be prepared. Okay? Now we have a question for you to think of. How many consonants do we have in the cluster in this word? Explain the pronunciation of the underlined consonants in the following cluster. That is the s, the t, and the s of the next word. Think of this cluster. Give me your answers. Post them in the Google Classroom. Thank you for listening. I wish you a good day. Bye-bye.